Men often get confused when a woman suddenly pulls back, right at the moment things seem to be going well. You're connecting, the chemistry feels strong, and just when you expect her to lean closer, she starts to push you away. She becomes distant, guarded, or even cold. To you, it feels like rejection. But in many cases, it's the complete opposite. Sometimes, when a woman wants you the most, that's exactly when she'll create space. Why does this happen? Because attraction is not only about desire, it's also about emotion, fear, and vulnerability. A woman can feel deeply drawn to you, but at the same time be overwhelmed by what those feelings mean. For her, wanting you means opening up, and opening up means risk. Risk of being hurt, risk of being abandoned, risk of giving her heart to someone who may not handle it with care. So instead of leaning into that vulnerability, she protects herself by pushing you away. This behavior can be frustrating if you don't understand it. Many men take it personally. They assume she lost interest, so they either chase harder or walk away too soon. Both of these reactions often make things worse. What you need to realize is that when a woman pushes you away in the middle of attraction, it's usually not about a lack of desire. It's about her trying to manage the intensity of her own emotions. In this video, we're going to break down the real reasons behind this confusing behavior. You'll see the psychology at play and learn how to respond without losing your balance. Because if you understand why she's pulling back, you'll stop overreacting and instead handle the situation with patience, strength, and clarity. 1. Her fear of vulnerability. When a woman feels a strong attraction toward you, it often triggers something deeper than just desire. It stirs up her fear of vulnerability. To want someone means she has to open herself up. And opening herself up means she risks being hurt, judged, or abandoned. This is why, in the very moments when she feels drawn to you the most, she may suddenly create distance. It's not that she doesn't like you. It's that liking you exposes her to feelings she isn't ready to fully face. Think about it. If she's laughing at your jokes, sharing her thoughts, and showing real connection, that's intimacy. But intimacy requires trust, and for many women, trust doesn't come easy. Past experiences, heartbreak, or even just the fear of losing control can make her retreat. Pulling away becomes her shield. She convinces herself, if I back up now, I won't get hurt later. Men often misinterpret this. They see her pullback as rejection, so they either chase harder or give up instantly. But the truth is, when she's afraid of vulnerability, her distance doesn't mean she doesn't care. It means she cares enough to feel exposed, and exposure is uncomfortable. This fear of vulnerability also shows up in her body language. She might avoid eye contact when conversations get deep. She might brush off compliments or downplay her feelings. She may even act cold or dismissive to cover the fact that she feels something strong. It's not about pushing you away forever. It's about buying herself time to process what she's feeling. So what should you do in these moments? The key is patience. Don't press her for answers. Don't smother her with questions, and don't pull away in anger. Instead, hold your ground. Stay calm, consistent, and steady. Show her, through your actions, that her feelings don't scare you and that you're not going to vanish the moment things get real. Here's the reality. A woman's fear of vulnerability is often strongest with the men she likes most. If she didn't care, she wouldn't feel the need to guard herself. Her pullback is not always a rejection. It's a sign of how much you matter. Your job isn't to force her closer. It's to show her, through your strength and composure, that closeness with you is safe. When you understand this, her distance won't throw you off balance. Instead, you'll see it for what it is, a temporary shield, and by handling it calmly, you give her the space to let that shield down on her own terms. Two, she tests your stability. When a woman pushes you away, even though she feels drawn to you, one of the hidden reasons is that she's testing your stability. She wants to know if you're the kind of man who can handle pressure, tension, and her emotional swings without losing your balance. Attraction is exciting for her, but it also raises questions. Is he steady enough to handle me when I'm not at my best? Can he stay grounded when things aren't easy? This is where many men fail. When she suddenly becomes distant, cold, or less responsive, they panic. They double text, they chase harder, or they get frustrated and lash out. What they don't realize is that their reaction is the very thing she's watching. If you collapse under a little distance, you're showing her that you can't handle bigger challenges in a relationship. For women, testing stability isn't always conscious. She may not even realize she's doing it. But on a deeper level, she's checking whether your confidence depends on her constant reassurance. If you can stay calm, composed, and unaffected by her pulling away, you prove something powerful. You prove that your value doesn't rise and fall based on her attention. Think about it this way. If she's excited about you, but at the same time overwhelmed by those feelings, she may step back to see what you do. If you keep your cool, she feels safer. She realizes you're not desperate, and that makes you more attractive. If you crumble, beg, or pressure her, she sees instability, and instability kills attraction. Modern dating is full of men who react emotionally to every shift in a woman's behavior. That's why standing firm sets you apart. When she pulls away, your job isn't to chase or to retreat. It's to remain steady. Keep living your life. Keep working on your goals. Stay consistent without over-investing. Here's the truth. Women respect men who don't get shaken by temporary distance. If she sees that you're grounded no matter what she does, her trust in you grows. That trust eventually breaks down the wall she's putting up, because she knows she can lean on you without worrying you'll collapse. So the next time a woman pushes you away, when things seem to be going well, ask yourself, is this a rejection or is this a test? More often than not, it's the second one. And your response will determine the outcome. If you stay calm, composed, and confident, you pass the test. If you panic or chase, you fail it. Remember, she doesn't want a man who cracks under pressure. She wants a man who can stand strong even when she pulls back. Three, mixed signals as a shield. One of the most confusing things for men is when a woman gives mixed signals. One day she's warm, laughing at your jokes, showing clear interest. The next day she's cold, distant, and acts like you barely exist. This back and forth leaves you questioning what she really wants. But here's the truth. Mixed signals are often her shield. She wants you, but the intensity of that desire makes her nervous, so she balances it by pulling away. Think about it. If she lets herself get too close too quickly, she feels exposed. To protect herself, she creates confusion. She may text you one night with excitement and then ignore you for 2 days. She might flirt in person but act indifferent over the phone. These contradictions aren't random. They're her way of keeping control over her emotions. By giving you mixed signals, she avoids feeling like she's given you all the power. Men often misread this. They assume she's playing games or that she's not serious. Sometimes that's true, but often it's deeper. It's her internal tug-of-war between desire and fear. She wants the connection, but she also fears what it could mean if she lets herself fully lean in. So she creates space, then comes back, push, then pull, warm, then cold. It's her way of protecting her heart while still keeping you around. This is where many men make a critical mistake. They react emotionally to the inconsistency. They get frustrated, call her out, or chase her harder when she cools off. What they don't realize is that these reactions confirm her fears. If you can't handle her pulling back temporarily, she assumes you won't be able to handle the deeper challenges of intimacy either. The right response is to stop overanalyzing every shift. Accept that attraction often comes with contradictions. Don't reward the cold behavior with extra chasing, and don't punish the warm behavior with suspicion. Instead, stay consistent. Keep showing up as the same man regardless of her swings. By doing that, you prove that you're steady, even when she's not. Here's the truth. Mixed signals aren't always manipulation. Sometimes they're simply protection. A woman who feels something real may get scared of her own feelings, and those mixed signals are her defense. If you can see past the surface and remain calm, you'll separate yourself from the men who lose control at the first sign of confusion. So the next time you face her warmth one day and her distance the next, don't panic. Don't chase harder. Don't play games back. Recognize it as her shield. If she truly wants you, she'll drop the act once she feels safe enough to. Your job isn't to force it. It's to show consistency until she realizes there's no need to hide. 4. Past hurt shapes her guard. When a woman pushes you away, even though she's drawn to you, one of the biggest reasons is her past. Every experience she's had, especially painful ones, shapes how she responds to new connections. If she's been betrayed, ignored, or taken for granted before, those wounds don't just disappear. They create a guard that comes up automatically the moment she starts to feel too much. This is important for men to understand. Her distance isn't always about you. It's about what she's lived through. Maybe she once gave her heart fully and got crushed. Maybe she trusted someone who walked away. Maybe she was made to feel like she wasn't enough. These experiences leave scars. And now, when she starts liking you, those memories resurface. Instead of leaning into her feelings, she pulls back as a way to protect herself. This guard can show up in many ways. She may suddenly become cold after a great date. She may cancel plans, even though you know she wants to see you. She may ignore your messages, not because she doesn't care, but because caring too much reminds her of past pain. For her, distance feels safer than vulnerability. Men often take this personally. They assume her hesitation means lack of interest, or worse, they think pushing harder will break her walls. But forcing your way in only strengthens her resistance. The more pressure she feels, the more she'll retreat. The key is patience and awareness. Recognize that her behavior isn't rejection, it's self-protection. That doesn't mean you should tolerate endless mixed behavior. It means you should be mindful of where it's coming from. If she's genuinely interested, her guard isn't permanent. She just needs to see that you're different, that you're steady, reliable, and not here to repeat her past. This is why consistency is so powerful. A man who doesn't flinch when she pulls back, who stays calm instead of emotional, slowly proves that he isn't like the men who hurt her before. Over time, her guard lowers. Not because you begged or chased, but because your actions quietly showed her she could trust you. Here's what you need to remember. Attraction isn't only about chemistry, it's also about safety. A woman won't let herself fully connect if she doesn't feel safe with you emotionally. And that safety doesn't come from words. It comes from stability. When she sees you're not quick to anger, not desperate, and not easily shaken, her past starts to lose its hold over her. So if she pushes you away while showing signs she cares, don't rush to judgment. Don't assume it's a game. Often, it's just her past speaking louder than her present. The best thing you can do is give her space while staying consistent. Let your steadiness show her you're not another source of pain. You're a man she can actually trust. 5. Fear of losing control. One of the deepest reasons a woman pushes you away when she actually wants you is fear of losing control. Attraction is powerful. It stirs emotions she can't fully manage. And for many women, that loss of control feels risky. The stronger her desire for you, the greater the urge to step back so she doesn't get swept away too fast. Control, for her, is safety. She wants to feel like she's choosing the pace, deciding when and how the connection grows. But when her emotions get ahead of her logic, she may react by creating distance. She might ignore your calls for a while, delay replying to texts, or act colder in person. On the surface, it looks like rejection. Underneath, it's her attempt to slow things down, so she doesn't feel powerless in the situation. Here's where a lot of men sabotage themselves. They sense her pulling back and immediately chase harder. They flood her with messages, demand answers, or push for reassurance. That only convinces her that her fear was right. She feels like she's losing control to you. Instead of calming her, you amplify her need to step away. The solution is to do the opposite. When she withdraws, don't try to drag her back. Don't push. Don't beg. Instead, stay steady and in your own frame. Keep living your life. Keep working on your goals. Show her that you value her interest, but you don't need it to stay centered. That kind of calm confidence reassures her that she's not trapped, not pressured, and not losing herself by being around you. This isn't about pretending not to care. It's about showing that you can handle her highs and lows without breaking stride. Women respect men who can remain grounded while they ride out their emotions. If she sees that you're not rattled by her pushback, her fear of losing control begins to fade. She realizes she can feel strongly for you without it meaning she has no say in how things go. Think of it like this. The more she senses you'll stay balanced regardless of her actions, the more comfortable she becomes letting her guard down. She doesn't feel the need to resist, because she knows she won't lose herself by letting you in. That's when she stops pushing you away and starts leaning closer. The mistake most men make is seeing her withdrawal as a challenge to conquer. They fight it head-on, which only strengthens her resistance. The better move is patience and consistency. Let her step back if she needs to, and simply hold your ground. She'll respect you more for not chasing, and she'll trust you more for not overreacting. Attraction isn't just about sparking emotions, it's about managing them. If you can help her feel desire without fear, you become the man she wants to stay close to. And that only happens when you understand her pushback is rooted in her need for control, not in lack of interest. 6. Protecting her vulnerability. A major reason why a woman pushes you away when she actually wants you is because she's protecting her vulnerability. Attraction opens her up. It makes her feel exposed, and with exposure comes the risk of getting hurt. If she lets you in too easily, she worries that you'll have the power to reject her, disappoint her, or leave her behind. For many women, that's a terrifying possibility. When a woman feels vulnerable, her natural instinct is often to create distance. She may tell herself not to get too attached, even if her feelings are strong. She might deliberately cancel plans, keep conversations short, or avoid showing too much excitement. This isn't because she doesn't want you. It's because she wants you so much that the risk feels dangerous. The mistake men often make here is misreading her behavior. They see her pulling away and assume she doesn't care. So they either chase harder or shut down themselves. Both of these responses backfire. Chasing harder only makes her feel more pressure, and shutting down confirms her fear that you're not dependable. The key is to understand that her distance isn't about disinterest, it's about protection. When you recognize that, your job becomes clear. Show her through your actions that she's safe to be herself around you. That doesn't mean smothering her with affection or trying to prove your worth. It means being consistent, calm, and patient. If she pulls away, don't panic. If she gets cold, don't mirror it with anger. Instead, stay steady and let her see that her vulnerability won't be used against her. A woman's trust doesn't build through grand gestures. It builds through stability. Every time she pushes you away and you don't react negatively, she learns something. She learns that you're not going to punish her for protecting herself. She learns that you're not desperate and that you're not quick to abandon her when she tests the waters of closeness and distance. Over time, this changes everything. The guard she puts up slowly comes down because she realizes she doesn't need to shield herself from you. You're not another man who will use her feelings against her. You're the kind of man who respects her emotions while staying firm in your own. That combination makes her feel both safe and attracted. Here's the truth. Women aren't afraid of attraction itself. They're afraid of what happens if they let that attraction make them vulnerable. If you can prove through your consistency that her vulnerability won't be taken advantage of, she won't feel the need to push you away anymore. She'll stop fighting her feelings and allow the connection to grow. So the next time a woman creates distance after showing interest, don't assume it's rejection. Look deeper. More often than not, she's just guarding her heart. If you can handle that with patience and strength, she'll eventually let down the shield and show you how much she truly wants to be close. 7. Attraction without balance. Sometimes, when a woman pushes you away, even though she's drawn to you, it's because the attraction she feels is out of balance. Strong emotions can make her feel like she's losing her grip on reality. If her thoughts are constantly spinning around you, wondering what you're doing, replaying your conversations, or feeling anxious when you don't respond, she may feel like she's giving too much of her mental space to you. That imbalance makes her uncomfortable. For many women, attraction without balance feels like a trap. On one side, she wants you deeply. On the other side, she's scared of how much power those feelings give you. So instead of letting the attraction consume her, she creates distance. She pulls back not because the feelings aren't real, but because they're too real. She wants to regain her balance before diving in further. This is why her actions can seem so confusing. You'll notice her leaning in one moment, flirting, smiling, showing excitement, and then suddenly stepping back. It's not that her attraction disappeared, it's that she needs space to steady herself. Without balance, the attraction feels like it controls her. By pushing you away, she's trying to remind herself that she still has control over her emotions and her choices. The mistake most men make here is reacting to the pushback with frustration. They feel rejected, so they either chase harder or withdraw completely. Both extremes destroy the very balance she's trying to find. If you chase too much, she feels smothered. If you disappear, she feels like she was right to hold back. What works best is giving her room while staying present. Don't over-pursue, but don't vanish either. Keep the connection alive without making it the center of your world. Let her feel that you want her, but show through your actions that you're not controlled by the situation. This creates the balance she's searching for. Women are drawn to men who can maintain control of themselves even in the middle of strong emotions. If you stay composed and grounded, she feels safer letting her own emotions deepen. She sees that you're not thrown off balance, and that makes her more comfortable letting the connection grow. Remember, attraction isn't only about passion, it's also about stability. If it's all fire and no ground, she'll feel overwhelmed. If it's all ground with no spark, she'll feel bored. The magic happens when there's both, excitement and steadiness. When she pushes you away in moments of high attraction, It's often her way of trying to bring that balance back. Your job is to provide the stability she can't find in herself at that moment. Be calm when she's emotional. Be steady when she's uncertain. Don't chase the highs or collapse at the lows. If you can show that you're balanced, no matter how much attraction is in the air, she'll stop resisting and lean in fully. When a woman pushes you away at the height of attraction, it's rarely about lack of interest. It's about fear, protection, and the need for balance. She tests your stability, hides behind mixed signals, guards her vulnerability, and steps back when her emotions feel overwhelming. The key is not to panic or chase. Stay grounded. Stay consistent. Let her see that you're steady, regardless of her push and pull. In time, that steadiness builds trust, and trust removes the walls she puts up. The man who wins is the one who can handle her distance without losing his frame.